third speaker, Mike Slattery. Title, Old. Old, Mike Slattery.
Have you ever been told that you're old by your doctor? About a month ago, I went for my semi-annual checkup to see my doctor and tell him about the aches and pains that I've had since the last time I saw him. He looked at me and said, "Mike, you're old." Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. Well, in the conversation, I continued on to tell him about some of the aches and pains I had, and one of them, of course, was that I had a bit of constipation. He looked at me and he smiled, and he said, "You think you have a bit of constipation? Think of the Queen Mother. She's been sitting on the throne for over 60 years." I didn't think that was very funny. But in any case, the good doctor recommended that I take Metamucil. And he said, "Mike, this is a great miracle drug or combination of such. And what you need to do is it's going to keep you as clean inside as it does outside, and it's very simple to use. Take an 8-ounce teaspoon, put it in an 8-ounce glass of water, mix it up, drink it. Depending on your taste buds, it'll taste like Tang or orange juice." And he said, not only that, he says it's also going to save you on toilet paper. Because when it's time to do the cleanup, one wipe, there's nothing there. Well, I thought, this is pretty good advice. So I went home and I took a look at the internet to see what was going on with Metamucil, and I found out that it was a very good product. However, I found it very difficult to log out. Now, if any of you have taken a look at some of the commercials on television about medicines, you will see that the majority of them are about arthritis. And there's like Celebrex, Cymbalta, Humerous. And if you've ever listened to some of the warnings, that's scary, because they all have serious consequences. Blurred vision, blood in the phlegm, dizziness, loss of memory, confusion, diarrhea, vomiting, and even death. So I want you to imagine if there was an illegal alien, a politician, and an Islamic extremist going into a bar for a drink, and the bartender was on Celebrex and had blurred vision. Can you imagine what he would say when he bent over and said, "What would you like, Mr. President?" My wife has a couple of blonde friends that are approximately our age, and they're both on Celebrex. Now, Celebrex side effect is dizziness. Well, one day they gave Bev a call, my wife, and wanted to know if she wanted to go to Disneyland with them, and she said she didn't have time. So they said, okay, they went by themselves. And when they got off the freeway and they saw a sign that said, "Disneyland left," they looked at one another, started crying, turned around, and went home. Now, I mentioned Celebrex and Cymbalta, but the one that's the most powerful is Humerous. And Humerous side effect, the major side effects, is gas. So they have a situation where Humerous has all the different things that happen from when you take the medicine. And one incident was a gentleman was in a restaurant and he got this sudden urge to pass gas. Well, he realized that the music at the restaurant was quite loud. So he decided to pass gas at the beat of the music. couple of songs, of course, he felt relieved. Finished his coffee, looked up, and everyone in the audience was looking at him. He suddenly realized he'd been listening to his iPod. When I was 20, I didn't care what medicines I took. When I was 40, the only worry I had about a medicine was that it would work. Now that I'm older, I worry about the side effects of these medicines. Now, being older as I am, I realize that at 70, people think you're old. But the fact is, you're really 40 with 30 years additional experience.